Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Free and Equal Network. I'm Christina Tobin, the founder of the Free and Equal Elections Foundation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization whose mission is to broaden electoral choices through education and direct positive action. We're going to be holding our fourth United We Stand this April 29th at Texas A&M. It's going to be at the Reed Arena. I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be April 29th. And what United We Stand is, it being our fourth one, it's a movement. It's a solution-based movement uniting students with conscious musicians, artists, and thought leaders to awaken political and cultural change. Well, we're here today with Colin Pape of Presearch. We're incorporating the synergy of elections and technology, which I feel will create something that has become something unrecognizable. So Colin Pape of Presearch, welcome to the Free and Equal Network.
Hey, Christina, thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties before, so I hope everybody can hear me. Let me know in the message. I had to put on the headset, so here we are. Colin, first of all, I want to thank you so much. I know Presearch is a huge supporter of free and equal elections and United We Stand. You guys are one of our gold sponsors, so we're really honored to have you be a part of that. Thank you.
It's our pleasure.
And I met you last year at actually Nexus Earth conference. They're our co-hosts for United We Stand, which was a rockin' conference out in Aspen Institute. And to see Jesse Ventura to Dennis Kucinich to Ron Paul coming together at one event, for me, that was the like, whoa.
Yeah, it was huge.
And so willing to learn about cryptocurrency, which Nexus has their coin, and learning about how Nexus is going to be we're partnered up with Vector Space and shooting CubeSats into space and decentralizing crypto, right? Internet banking from the system. Really, really cool. And so we crossed paths there. I would love for people who don't have an idea of what Presearch is. It's presearch.io. If you guys want to kind of look at it. Colin, can you let everybody know about who you are and what Presearch is all about? Take your time.
Sure, thank you. So we're really aligned, I think, with Free and Equal because Presearch is really about choice as well. And so what it is a decentralized search engine that we're building. It does integrate blockchain technology. Essentially, we are looking at the most centralized services or kind of points within the world, within the economy, and search is really one of them. It's kind of the top layer for a lot of people's information gathering activities, and it influences a lot of our decisions. And yet we have basically one company, with a closed algorithm that is really kind of controlling our access to that information. And so we see a really tremendous opportunity to build more of a grassroots, ground up search engine that is powered by the community and that is, something that people can kind of take a look under the hood, see how things work, verify that things are as they appear to be, control their data, and really just participate in the information curation process a little bit more actively than in the current search environment. So yeah, building a decentralized search engine. You can sign up right now for our beta at presearch.org.
Beautiful. Colin, for individuals that are so new to technology, right? We're in the election realm, kind of diving into technology. I know friends even where I live here in Cambria, California, where Free and Equal's headquartered, we're like, what's blockchain voting? What's blockchain technology? Yeah. How do you explain that in layman's terms to somebody that just has never crossed paths with blockchain?
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit of an obscure thing to people if you're not familiar with it. Basically, it's really a distributed network where there are thousands of computers from all over the world that all have copies of a database, and they're all linked together in a way where they all kind of verify back and forth if the information is correct. And it has an amazing application for voting. I think that's actually probably the top application for blockchain ultimately, because it would essentially make it impossible for people to tamper with. The real beauty of blockchain technology is you do have that openness and that transparency. So there's something called a blockchain explorer, which is generally a website, and you can go and you can type in an address and you can see all of the corresponding information, and you can kind of trace it back to the source, which is what's awesome. So in the case of an election, it would be something that anybody could dive into, see the results for, and again, it's just basically impossible to tamper with. So really exciting applications for elections, definitely.
And that very much helps clarify those for our viewers out there who are not familiar with blockchain yet. With Free and Equal Elections, we're going to be launching phases, at least for April 29th. We'll have a sign-up page for our election assistant app, which will implement blockchain voting into it. I'm eager to learn. Nexus Earth offered to power. Of course, we're interested in working with other groups through the search engine and all that through Free and Equal as we evolve into who knows.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Anything is possible within reason.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm excited to learn about maybe a platform outside of the current voting system where people can build that trust and kind of understand how an election system that would have imagine your phone would have every single candidate running for office, a DR, third party independent. You can click here to learn how to get on the ballot, click here to vote who's going to be in the first round of presidential debates that we host. Now our fourth cycle, this 2020, it's crazy. But so I'm excited to see where that goes. And it's a way for the kids and the youth and the people to get engaged and get involved, which is what we're all about at United We Stand.
Totally.
What are your thoughts yesterday? It's pretty timely. I know it's pretty much random out there, but like with Facebook and Zuckerberg, I have to admit, I watched a lot of that live. Wow.
Yeah, we did as well. I mean, the whole thing is interesting. I mean, there's definitely some grandstanding that's going on, I think. Some good questions. I think overall it's good that people are thinking about this and just thinking about ownership of data and access to data, and really just kind of the ramifications of these massively centralized systems. I mean, it is amazingly powerful. I mean, we're doing Facebook Live right now, so it's amazing how powerful these systems can be and how empowering they can be. But when you think about just how centralized, again, the flow of information, the access to information is becoming, if you think back into the days when newspapers were the primary vehicles for people to get information, and there were, there was legislation against multiple papers being owned by the same organization. And just how far we've gone from that, and not that was necessarily the right thing. I mean, I'm a libertarian, and I believe in the free market and its ability to decide things. But you just look at how much power one company has right now, and the ability to influence things. And I mean, a lot of it I think is unintentional. It's just kind of a byproduct of people figuring out how to game systems. But when things become as centralized as they are, the repercussions become amplified significantly, because if you figure out how to game one global system that really touches everything versus, back whenever somebody gamed something, the impact was maybe, fairly minimal. Well, now the stakes are huge. And so you have people really going all out to try to figure out, what loopholes are there, how can information either be disseminated or repressed, and yeah, it has a real impact. I think most people are getting their news now from Facebook. It's beyond just friends and family and cat videos. It is where a lot of people are interacting with the information that they're using to make decisions. I mean, really, between Facebook and Google, that is the top layer for a lot of decision making today. So yeah, it's important. And whether or not this actual Senate hearing has any real impact on anything, or whether it should have an impact on anything, whether they should have legislation or whatever. I think it's good just that, the conversations are being had, and that these fairly important issues are being brought to the surface, and hopefully people are opening their eyes and looking at things with a critical lens, and just, starting to hopefully prepare themselves maybe for alternatives, which I think is starting to happen. There seems to be a bit of a backlash, which is I think encouraging. So, yeah.
It's I have to just engage that it's all about the people and them being heard. And Christian Perez had some good comments here. He read my mind. That's why the FCC killed net neutrality. The elites, I like to say the powers that be, want to kill democracy. Some would say republic, the demo public. I mean, let's come together. And he said free market, more like controlled market.
Totally.
But he also had a good question here. He says, can we have a true democracy? And I'm going to tweak it, demo public, democracy republic, now that technology has connected everyone?
Yeah, I think there's a really interesting opportunity, and something just on the blockchain application. The other really important thing for elections is just the ability to prove who you are, and to really have that secure connection basically into that vote, into that world. And so what I'm hoping is the future is more direct representation. I don't know how I feel truthfully about democracy, quote unquote, or whatever we have now. I think it's time with the technology, especially with blockchain, to look at something where we have more direct representation, more of an opportunity for people's individual voices to be heard, rather than trying to pick somebody who's hopefully going to represent us, but seldom does. I think you would have a much more engaged populace. And to me, just the biggest thing with voluntarism and looking at socialism and kind of the expectations that people have for the government to take care of them and do all these things. One of the things that just hit close to home for me, where we live, there's this trail that is just next to our house, and the government is maintaining it, I suppose. And whenever it rains, this thing washes out. The people who work on this, they don't live where we do, and they don't see it as viscerally as we do. And so they basically wait until it washes out, and then they come along with their machines again, and they smooth it out, and they fill in all the different grooves and whatnot. And I wanted to just connect with my neighbors and just say, guys, okay, so we know why this is happening. We need to throw in a French drain right here. We could probably do it in an afternoon and $100 worth of material and have the problem actually solved. But instead, we're all sitting around going, yeah, but I'm paying the government to do it. Why isn't somebody else doing it? And so the problem itself is not actually being solved. And I think that is just, a small representation of what's going on kind of across the board. And I think that when people become disengaged from having a voice and being able to make an impact on the issues that they care about, because they're left to hopefully a representative who's going to do something about it, it kills engagement. And I think this is a real opportunity with the internet, with mobile apps and blockchain, to kind of tie it all together and create hopefully a system where we can build up trust and reputation and have a voice and start allocating resources more effectively and really engaging in the process to actually bring about change. I don't know. It's exciting, truthfully. Hopefully it's going to happen, and I believe that you're going to play a part in making that happen. So thank you.
I appreciate that. And it's really about who you surround yourself with. So with support in many ways from you and Presearch and our co-host Nexus Earth and other sponsors from Dr. Bronner's, the magic soaps. It's just pretty surreal to see where we are today, now a decade in the making. Yep. And while I'm a very positive person, optimist, I'm also a realist. And the realist in me doesn't trust the current system. I think it has something up its sleeve. I don't trust Congress, nor even really Zuckerberg, but I would give credit to the fact that there's a social media world out there because of maybe not him, maybe the original creators is what I've learned of Facebook. So while Congress may be seemingly caring about us opening up or being fair with Facebook, obviously they're a product of the one-party system, which is controlled by the powers that be. And so it troubles me to allow a system to continue to breed, grow, exist the way it's currently structured. So it's been something I have seen since 17 years of age, almost 20 years now this June, right? I'm almost 37, where I've seen firsthand the corruption of the electoral system. I know you saw some of those posts online with my dad. Wow, he's running as an independent, Jim Tobin, for lieutenant governor in Illinois. And I've seen firsthand what they do to keep accountable candidates like my dad and across the political spectrum off the ballot. And it does concern me, the big money going into Bitcoin. I love the idea of alternative currencies, which I really, really consider crypto to be. But I think that the system could come back stronger than ever. So I knew over a decade ago there would be a time when a solution-based movement would need to rise to bring about that true cultural and political change. And here, united we stand, April 29th. I knew there'd be one or two key people that would take it to that level. That's all it would take. So thanks for listening to that. And with congressional ratings at an all-time low, I say it over and over again consistently, Congress has turned a blind eye towards lack of compassion. United We Stand, all proceeds will go towards Harvey relief. It's for the people. They're still suffering 7-8 months after math, and hopefully we'll take it to Puerto Rico next, for Maria down there and evolve into however the people build it. So, Colin, we have some more comments here. So, which is why we're here. We need the internet free, says Christian Perez. And Jamie says, Perez, we do not need a democracy. We want our republic back. It was just, they're just, so, I mean, I think a lot of people who use the word democracy mean it in good heart. They just maybe, as I learn more historically about what it is, I'm like, ooh, Republic. I think most of us really want good. It's just the terminology can be confusing.
I think ultimately most people want power in the hands of the people, and I think most people are against this whatever system we have, whatever type of archy it is. But unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's so many distractions. There are so many reasons for people to not engage and to focus on their own kind of personal challenges, many of which have been manufactured or accentuated by the system that is we've allowed to flourish. Unfortunately, I think there's just such a huge opportunity to have a simpler world. Simpler lives for people that are more fulfilling and more connected and more kind of in harmony with nature and human nature. And it would be awesome to see some type of movement in that direction of significance. It does feel like it's building. I'm probably fairly well aligned with you. It seems. I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic but skeptical. I mean, I think of the internet is such an awesome tool, but yet it's a tool of DARPA. So why is it really here? And it's great that Congress is talking about Facebook and whatnot, but really, is it the other stuff like who else is having information or access to that information? The NSA and all these different agencies. I mean, so is some of this stuff, just a bit of a red herring? Could be. I don't know. But I've got to, stay optimistic and hope that we can leverage these tools to potentially dismantle or augment the systems that have been created to, unfortunately, I believe, control people or keep them complacent so that they don't end up, creating the future that they likely would if they were not so distracted and entranced and just kind of intertwined with these things that they individually probably really don't support. I think a lot of us right now are feeling like we're kind of in the rat race. We're on the wheel. We're doing things that don't necessarily make sense to us, but it's quote unquote what we have to do to pay the bills and to keep people happy and off our backs and whatever it is. But yeah, I do like to think that there's a better way that is more creative and more innovative, and I do believe in the power of the people to make change, and it is encouraging seeing people like yourself. And honestly, Nexus was a game changer for me. That conference was just unbelievable to see.
Special.
Yeah, like everybody I know who was there, and you played.
Right now thinking about it, I literally have goosebumps.
It was unreal, and I'm so glad that I went, and I'm so thankful that you played the role you did, and getting a lot of those brilliant minds there. And I think catalyzing a lot of what that event could be in the future, and I think just the ripples that were created there by having all those people in a place together for that moment in time, and just the thinking and just the energy, knowing, okay, like there's lots of people who think this way, and they're credible people, and they're people who make sense. And just to have that as within our awareness that it's possible, I think is going to enable us to build on that and hopefully do even more and greater and bigger and more impactful things in the future. So that was a game changer for me. That's why we wanted to support what you're doing. We know that what you're doing is coming from a really good place, and the people that you've aligned yourselves with, I mean, it's very impressive and really exciting. And so yeah, happy to be a part of it. Hope that more people can become a part of it. Especially, I mean, there is a lot of crypto wealth right now, even if things are crashed, quote unquote. Bitcoin's still at $6,000-7,000 is still there's a lot of crypto wealth out there, and I think this is an organization that if we can help kind of channel some of that wealth into, I think we could have a significant impact. So thanks for the opportunity and for lighting the candle and holding it up, and hopefully we have more people that will jump in and try to continue to make the difference that you've already been having. So yeah,
the feeling is mutual, and thank you for being the spark, a key spark in helping to elevate us at a time when we're really on the cusp of, I think, bringing together a lot of the crypto community, particularly, who knows, in Puerto Rico or also in Arizona, where Nexus Earth, I think, will be holding their next second annual conference, both. But to have the cryptocurrency back something and support something that gives back to the people, because the government has been undeservingly hostile towards crypto, I would say, overall. And it's just, some say the government may try to go in the digital, or it's just weird stuff, talking to a lot of different speakers. But again, keeping our eye on the prize. And while we may question our government on all these different things, the different sort of conversations I've had, from it's just the fact that we think our government is even capable of it is the problem. That's it. Let's not go down that black hole. Let's focus on the fix, the solution. And coming together and uniting. So I'm excited to have you again at United We Stand. It'll be April 29th at Texas A&M's Reed Arena. We'll be launching our show outline probably tomorrow and promo trailer. Cool. It looks like it. So awesome. That'll be great. And we have people pending, you know, Dennis Kucinich and Dr. Ron Paul and Larry King, awesome. Chris Hedges, they're all pending. There's nowhere else to turn, nowhere else to go. Yep. And I can tell you, Colin, the biggest compliment anybody has ever paid me in my life was on the flight back from Acapulco. Mm-hmm. This young gentleman, and now a supporter, looked at me and said, "I can describe you in one word." And it was the biggest compliment. He looked at me and said, "Incorruptible." And wow. I can tell you, like, I mean, that's what I know. I'm a Tobin. Look at my dad, who's been up against the system for 40 years, running Taxpayers United of America and going out with a bang, running as an independent for lieutenant governor. I'm so proud of him. So compromising is not an option, and compromising our vote. And it is going to be, it'll take a lot of work, but it is going to happen where it's time to replace most, if not every, member of Congress with people that, like you, or supporters of people that are asked by their constituents to run and have a technological background and awareness, education, that are representing the people. I see that coming. It has to. Legalize marijuana, gay marriage, concealed carry. When we thought all of those things were seemingly impossible, we can replace pretty much every member of Congress. So, Colin, did you want to wrap up with your website and Presearch, let people know how they can support you, and then we'll wrap up the call. I have some comments. Oh, somebody wrote, Kate Colgan, great compliment, Christina. I will live up to it because it's all I know. It is. Awesome. What a great lineup y'all will have there. Love what you're doing, Christina. Of course, our Presearch project lead. Oh, Colin. That's sweet, Kate. So
thanks,
that's very
Kate.
sweet. Oh, sweet Kate. Did you want to wrap up?
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited about the event as well. We've been talking with Max Borders. Really excited to have Max there as well. I've been reading his posts. I'm a member of his Social Evolution project, and just the posts that he's been putting out lately on Medium. Really like solutions-based and innovation-based solutions to some of our most pressing issues, and I just think he's a real leading thinker out there as well. So I'm excited to hear him speak. Every time he does, I come away so inspired. So really excited that he'll be there.
I have to jump in. He actually helped put together got 7 million views of video calling out the corruption on the Commission on Presidential Debates. So I'm like, man, this guy is meant to be a speaker at United We Stand. Yes. I was like, how many people do that and get 7 million views? Max Borders of Social Evolution. So check him out.
Right. That's right. Max is awesome. And just on our front, presearch.org. We launched our public beta on Monday. Super pumped to get people in and help them kind of take back control of their online search choices, and we've got some really interesting things in store that I think are going to move the needle for privacy and data ownership for individuals. So really excited about everything there. Would love anybody's feedback. If they register, let us know. We're trying to really involve everybody in the process and build this kind of grassroots ground up resource. So and aside from that, really excited to be a part of the movement that you're building, and look forward to connecting with everybody at United We Stand, and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you.
Right back at you. Thank you. This is Colin Pape of Presearch. Join us at United We Stand. Final plug, April 29th at Texas A&M Reed's Arena, my hometown of Houston, Texas. Well, sweet. College Station, Texas, but born and raised, 16 years there. And so it's going to be good to get back to the people. That's what it's about. So thank you and your team, Kate, all of you guys for giving back to the people, being a part of United We Stand. I look forward to you guys joining our tour and being up front, because you guys, there's a lot of loyalty in giving us that gas to get there. So United We Stand.
United
all
We
right.
Stand.
Lots of love to you and the Presearch team. See you out
Thanks,
there.
Christina.
Thank you, Colin.
See you, everyone.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.